In this tutorial, we're going to look at using Pixlr Editor. It's a free online tool, and we're just going to look at using the capabilities of cropping and resizing photographs that we want to use on our website. So, for example, we have a WordPress site and that we need to add our own images, and for consistency, we're going to have a particular size, so, 640 pixels wide by 320 pixels high. This may be different to your case, but this is just for the example. And so 640 pixels is wide and 320 pixels high. Pixels is just a form of measurement for size on the computer screen. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. But once you've got those templates set up, a template size, just follow those pixel sizes. So let's just start looking at how we're going to do this. Like I said, it's a free online editor, so pixlr.com/editor, and there's a link available from this page as well. But let's just go to that website now. It's already opened here. You'll see that we've got this greeting message here. And so what we're going to be doing, because we've already got our photographs, we're going to be opening an image from our computer. So we've just got this option here, so we can just click on that. And so the first thing that we're going to be looking at doing is cropping an image. So the good thing is we've already got our images within a folder on the desktop. We browse to that folder and select the image. For the example, it's got one called trees. I'm just going to click open. And so now it opens it within the screen. And just a few little things here that we can do. On the right hand side here, you can see just here, this one called navigator. We can move this around. We can move this layers around. They're not so important. We're just going to look at the particular features that we need to use. And just down here, the bottom where the image is opened, we can see that it's saying that this is 100% view of the image, and it's 831 pixels wide by 570 pixels high. So what we can tell from that, it's going to be wide enough. The image is above 640 pixels, which is good, and it's also above 320 pixels, which is the size of our template file that we want to create. So what we need to do now is crop this image because it's too big, and we'd go to this tool here. On the left here, you've got the tools options, and there's a little at the top one on the left there. Just click on that, and that's our crop tool. And it's nice and easy because we've got these options here now. It says constraint. So there's no restriction, aspect ratio, and output size. The output size is the one we want because we can come up here and just click up there. Now that should be, it's hard to see, but it's actually highlighted all that text. So there's numbers there. And we can just change that to the width, which is, if you go back to your template file, we want the width of 640 by 320. So we're going to type in 640 by 320. Pardon me. And now with the crop tool, you can see that I've got it activated here. I click on the screen and hold my mouse down and drag it out. So you can see what it's doing there now. It's creating a rectangle of that correct size. So some things of importance here are, you can see the navigator over here. At the moment it's saying it's a width of 578. That's the actual size of the image underneath. So we crop that, it's actually going to make it bigger. It's going to enlarge it, if you know what I mean. So if we get that to, so just look in the navigator, there's 640. We'll try and just quickly get that there. Oh, we missed it. If we get 640, that means it's going to cut exactly that and doesn't need to resize or downsize. But anything that's below 640, as you can imagine, it's saying 372. When it crops that, it's going to double those pixels and it's going to kind of enlarge the image and make it a bit blurry. So whenever you're cropping, always have a good sized image to work with to start with, and just also be aware that what you want to do is crop above the setting of 640 pixels wide. So once we've done that, we're kind of saying, oh, I like this image. We've looked in the navigator. Its width is above 640. I can kind of then click and hold my mouse down in the middle and drag it around to an area that I'd like to crop. And I'll say, well, that looks nice. And the thing is, all you need to do now is just take your mouse outside of the crop tool and just click on the screen. And then it will ask you, do you want to apply these changes? And you just click yes. And so now you've cropped the image and it's to the exact right dimensions that we wanted before, 640 pixels wide by 320 pixels high. We can tell that by coming down here, it says 100%, and it's saying 640 by 320. Now what we need to do is save this image. So we'll go up here and we'll click on this file option up the top here, and it's got this option here, save. So we're going to do that. And there are some options here as well. What we want to do is the quality. We want to slide it all the way to 100%. And the name is trees. I'm just going to call it trees crop. And then I'm going to click OK. So now that's saying where do you want to save this file to, and we're going to save it in our photos folder. We can see that our original image is in there as well, but we've called ours trees crop. And there, it's saved the image to our folder. So let's go and have a look, see if it's there. It's going to go open the folder up, click on trees crop, and there we go, perfect. And we've still got our original image in there. We didn't save over the top of that. So that was using Pixlr to crop an image to be the right size that we wanted it to be. So then the second part is let's just close that now. And we're just going to click, do you want to save the image before closing? We're just going to click no. We've already saved the image that we want. And now let's just say that we wanted to look at resizing an image. We don't want to crop all the good stuff out of it like we did then. We just want to resize it. And then what we're going to do is make sure that it's going to fit the correct size of 640 by 320 pixels by resizing the canvas if we need to. So once again, we're going to open the image from a computer, take that original image of trees, and this time we say, well, we don't want to crop the image. We really like how it is that wide, so we're not going to crop the width of it anyway. So we really like, we want that full width of that image, but because of the size, it's just a bit too high. So pardon me, we need to look at how we can bring this down to get it to 640 wide for starters. So it's nice and easy within this program. In here, this third one along, we've got image, and it's got this image size. So we can just click on that and make sure you've got constraint proportions. We can just click on the width here, just highlight all that, and you watch what happens to the height of it when we do this as well, 640. So it's going to resize that image for us down to the exact width of 640, which is perfect. But we decided that, well, because of our template file, we need it to be 320 pixels high. And that is nice and easy within Pixlr, because it's got this other resizing option of resizing the canvas. So it's kind of like what the photograph sits on, the visual size that we can look at. And before we do that, just over on the right here, it's got background and layers, and it's got a little lock symbol there. Just double click that. We need to unlock the layer, and I'll show you why this next part. So when we come back up to image, because we're going to resize the canvas, here's the option canvas size. Keep the anchor in the top left hand corner, because what we need to do now is change the height, because we want it to be 320 pixels. So I'm just going to click 320. You notice that the width didn't change because we're actually changing the canvas. And you watch what happens to the image in the background now. Voila. The canvas has changed, so the visual size of the image that we can see is just at 640 by 320. And we noticed that, we wanted a bit more of the trees up the top. And the good thing is, with your layer selected and selecting this, I think it's a move tool, you can move your image up and down. So you can see what's happened there. The image has stayed the same, but the canvas has gone smaller. But we can still move our image up and down. And if you use your arrow keys on your keyboard, you can also use that, because you may just want to go up and down, not move to the left and to the right. So that was it. And then it's the same thing again. We've just got to save that. And so you've seen two ways there to resize images and prepare them for the web. So we're just going to go click File, Save, Trees, I'm going to call this one Resize, make sure that quality is up high, click OK, and it's going to save that into the folder for me. So that is all that we really need to know for preparing your images for your website. If you've got any questions, please ask.